18 up until 1866, blacks were slaves. They didn't belong to any party, and they got slavery out of it. From 1866 to 1936, about 96% of all the blacks in the United States belonged to the Republican Party. What they got was Jim Crowism out of it. From 1936 up to 1996, almost 97% of all the blacks in the United States belong to the Democratic Party. What they've gotten is benign neglect. So partisanship is not the issue. The issue is that black folk have never had an effective strategy for dealing with white racism in this country. That's the issue. You can win as a minority population if you learn and find out how it's been done in the past. Jews are a minority religious group, but they do win. The National Rifle Association is a minority social civic group, but they do win. The wealthy elite in this country is a minority group, but they do win. When will we sit down and strategize how do we win as a minority?
You know, I've always said I don't think black people should belong to either party. And it's because the parties aren't for us. That's why we should be focused straight on policies to get what we want. But categorizing ourselves and putting ourselves with a group, yeah, that hasn't worked in all these years, and it ain't finna start working. Then again, that's just my opinion.
If you look like me and you can side with the party that literally aligns themselves with the KKK because check notes, you believe they're good with the economy, you got a stimulus check.
Look, y'all, it's Conscious Lee, the oppressed one who wears nothing but Gucci and gold. Continue.
This means you are in fact a sellout and you willing to sell out the collective of your people in your community.
What's a bigger sellout than a man who's stealing money out the black community to further push his race-baiting agenda? Or someone like yourself who constantly comes at white people on a constant basis, even though he was raised by two adoptive white parents? A person like yourself who claims that black men should only be with black women, meanwhile, your woman is not black. Or somebody who aligns with other people while they cipher the money out of the black community and laugh about it. But continue.
But the individual political gain or financial gain of yourself.
Did anybody ever tell you sound like Oswald Bates? If y'all don't know who Oswald Bates is, look at this.
Allow me to partologize myself. Currently speaking, my incarceration has forced, you understand, the ventilation of, shall I say, my dairy air. And upon my discharge, I will ejaculate my mind to the prophylactic of the bowels of society.
As Oswald Lee. Or Conscious Bates. Oh my God, continue.
Because if you believe that siding with the literal Confederate flag, Ku Klux Klanners in the name of the economy, it showed me that you think just like the masses.
First and foremost, Mr. Conscious Bates. God, I love that. You are being very disingenuous because we all know, everybody who knows history knows who started Ku Klux Klan. The Ku Klux Klan was started by the Democratic Party, the party which you choose to follow. And it's sad because you're saying this to a bunch of impressionable black people who don't know their history. They're just going to follow you because you talk the language of the slave. And weak-ass, impressionable black people love to talk of the slaves. If you sit there and say, habba dabba deeba babba deeba boop, they're going to follow you. No matter what. You can say abracadabra and these niggas would swear that you're bilingual. It's bullshit. But here, let me show you my proof.
The Democratic Party has fought against every major civil rights initiative and has a long history of discrimination. The Democratic Party defended slavery, started the Civil War, opposed Reconstruction, founded the Ku Klux Klan, imposed segregation, perpetrated lynchings, and fought against the Civil Rights Acts of the 1950s and 1960s. In contrast, the Republican Party was founded in 1854 as an anti-slavery party. Its mission was to stop the spread of slavery into the new Western territories with the aim of abolishing it entirely.
Fact check it. Fact check it and get back to me and tell me if we're following the party of the Ku Klux Klan, or are you? Oh, Oswald. Oh, Oswald. Blessings to the righteous. It's getting too easy, y'all.
It's getting extremely easy because now that all of this research is being done because of this campaign, people can no longer hide behind the Democratic Party's bullcrap that they have been putting on for so long. And to be honest, I think, this is me, I think black people, specifically black people, should be offended to be, and quite frankly, embarrassed to be a part of the Democratic Party, because these are the people who give you welfare. And welfare should be, or deemed, disrespectful to you, because you feel like I can't get out with my two hands and go to work and give me the same opportunities as that white man got to make myself a living for me and my family and to own my own business. Why am I not allotted the same opportunities?
The inflation, it doesn't matter what you make. The inflation is eating you alive. If you're a worker or if you're just a middle income person, you can't afford. 4 years ago, 5 years ago, people were saving a lot of money. Today, they're using all their money and borrowing money just to live. It's a horrible thing that's happening, and we'll end that quickly.
Well, I think a lot of a lot of people just don't understand where inflation comes from. Inflation comes from government overspending, because the checks never bounce when it's written by the government. So if the government spends far more than it brings in, that increases the money supply, and if the money supply increases faster than the rate of goods and services, that's inflation. So really, we need to have we need to reduce our government spending, and we need to re-examine. I think we need like a government efficiency commission to say like, hey, where are we spending money that's sensible? Where is it not sensible?
Right.
And I ain't finna talk after every video, but I have to talk behind the ones that really resonate with me. When you think about inflation, man, and inflation didn't happen until the Biden-Harris administration. When he came in, that's when inflation started. Everything got messed up. And y'all just failed to realize that Biden put Miss Harris in charge of the border. And look at the border. Look at all these different things that come in, these different immigrants that are coming in, and they're threatening our jobs.
Have y'all come across this yet? No, because seriously, we need to know what this is. Like, we need to know what this is, because this isn't the sun, y'all. This was in Chattanooga, Tennessee, in the Smoky Mountains yesterday. Let me show you what transpired of this. Like, it all started looking something like this. Do y'all see that? This ring of smoke, whatever it is, and then it goes to looking like this. Look at this, right? Could this be like creating a portal of some sort? Look at that. Look at that. This is on the Smoky Mountains. Look, what is that, y'all? Look. Like, y'all see that burning fire in the middle of it? But it looks like something is coming through the firmament. And y'all see that? Look at this. What is going on? This is literally like the Truman Show, y'all. It's like something is like cutting the glass or the firmament, like to come in, or like literally a portal, like a window. You know what I'm saying? A porthole. And it's literally a hole. And then you see this fiery red thing over here, kind of like Jupiter, right? Right? What y'all think? I believe the spiritual world is merging with this physical world, hence why all the material things, the physical things, is breaking down. But could this also be the reason why it's been so bright outside? Have y'all noticed that? At nighttime, it's been really bright. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. This video is strictly for entertainment purposes only. I am only raising awareness to interesting situations during these interesting times. Like, comment, share for more videos like this. Let's get this shift, y'all. Peace in.
But these folks in these social experiments, man, they don't do nothing but blow the whistle on what's really going on in this country, man.
Young black kids growing up in the Bronx who don't even know what the word a computer is. They don't know. They don't know these things. And I want the world open up to all of them, because when you have their diverse voices innovating solutions through technology, then you're really addressing society's broader.
Bro, and that's a Democrat lady, right? That's what they think of our kids. You know what they think of us, but that's what they think of our kids.
Hey guys, so I know a lot of you are familiar with the Master's Voice Prophecy blog, or Celestial. Well, I came across one of her most recent prophecies, and she's saying that there's going to be a takedown of the Williams brothers. And immediately I'm like, who's the Williams brothers? So as I listen further, she's talking about Venus and Serena Williams. These are her words, not mine, but she's saying that Venus and Serena Williams are in fact not women, that they are men. Let me roll the clip for y'all.
To you until you mention the Williams brothers. Those are men. Absolute men. Oh. Thank you. When I was preparing for this thing, I was indeed getting pictures concerning the Williamses. Just so you don't forget and think, oh, she's just exposing. I'm sitting here in the power and authority of the Lord Jesus Christ. He sits in his seat on high, and he surveys the entire earth. The Lord said to me, Celestial, these two will be stripped of all their medals and all their accolades posthumously. I repeat, Venus and Serena Williams, thus saith the Lord, they will be stripped of all their medals, every accomplishment, all lauding. Lauding means high, high, high praise. All their rewards, everything that they have robbed from real women over nearly 30 years. Ever since they were first debuted on this show. You know, I will not get ahead of myself, so let me finish. Ever since they appeared on this show called Trans World Sport. Trans World Sport. God says every single thing that they stood in the way of. He's saying now they foiled many careers, especially that Serena. Particularly vicious that one is, and hates. That woman wanted to kill Naomi Osaka when she beat her fair and square. Because how can an XX beat an XY? And the rest of you, you supported her with bad behavior, booing that child. Because you had no idea of that sore XY, that XY loser. Used to always winning, used to always dominating. God says those two have stalled many careers, robbed many crowns, he's telling me here, caused many tears, many girls cried. And they're too old now. Their chance to be tennis greats is done. The women who cried, the women who could have been, the women who had to settle for number 3 and number 4 their entire careers because men were sitting in their spot. Posthumously, thus saith the Lord. He said they will take everything away from them. They will strip every accolade. You've lived to see Lance Armstrong stripped, right? Just to know that I'm not going over into strange territory where you're saying she's making up things. You lived to see all those 8 doping Tour de France medals stripped from Lance Armstrong. So you cannot claim that you've never heard of awards and medals being stripped. And he keeps saying to me, posthumously, posthumously. Posthumously means after you die.
I know. I'm wondering the same thing you're wondering, because Serena has 2 kids. Drop your thoughts in the comments.
I was just about to say, don't she got 2 kids? But it's weird because in the beginning there was a lot of talk about Serena being a man because of her build and her physique. So I don't know, man.
After much self-reflection, I have come to the realization that there is one thing very Indian about you, and that is that you became the Democratic nominee without a single vote. Bitch, you pulled the biggest scam of all time. No Indian I know From the call centers to email phishing, no Indian I know has scammed 250 million people. Not bad, Kamala. That's pretty good numbers. If you manage to actually win the election, you will have pulled off the biggest Indian scam of all time. From here on out, your new name is not Kamalto actually. It is now Scamala. Scamala Harris. Don't act like us. Don't act like us.
LeBron James literally gets out of his van, helps his friend out, and smiling while helping him out. Kid just wanted to take a photo with LeBron, like normal. Wasn't doing anything crazy out of the normal. I'm gonna show the video to you in a second. He wasn't doing anything out of the normal or weird or awkward, but screams at the kid and tells him, stop, don't do that. And then goes into the party and club and dance and hug his friends. How do you do that to a kid that just want a simple little photo? Unlike most people, he ain't yelling, screaming, jumping on top of you. He's like LeBron. You can see in the video, LeBron, can I get a photo? Stop. It was clear that that kid really didn't do anything. He could have just said, well, I can't take a photo with you, I can't. Why you was so aggressive with him like that? Let's show the video. So LeBron is getting out right here. Having a great time. He looks like he's in a great mood. It's good.
Stop. I can't.
Do what? What'd he do? Let's show you what the kid was doing. Look at this.
Make space, guys, for...
He calmly moved back, casually, without a problem in the world. Most likely his first time ever meeting LeBron. And look at what he did to him. Completely danced in his face, crushed that poor kid's soul, and having fun. You completely just crushed that kid's soul. You completely just crushed that kid's soul. His first time ever meeting his fan. You didn't have to be big man, Big Willie to him. He just said, Bron, can I get a photo? Stop. And then you danced. Like that. While he's looking on. And hugged another man and having a great time. When he's just a kid with a phone. Yo, that is some heartbreaking shit. Bron, that was fucking foul, bro. That was foul. You could have just said, all right, cool. But you did that kid dirty, my nigga. I'm looking at you. I've been looking at you different, but damn, this was fucked up. Something I never thought you would do.
You know, it's crazy because, you know, let's just say I'm a normal person right now, but if I was to get rich, let's just say as rich as LeBron and as famous as LeBron, like, does my human card go down? Like, just because I'm famous and I'm rich, does that mean I have to allow every and anybody to walk up on me and touch me and things of that nature, or stop me in my stride? I mean, that's one of the questions you have to ask. But I will say this, it's a way to handle things. Because he could have just said, look, I'm in a rush, young man. I can't do it right now, but maybe next time. He could have said that. So I don't know if the kid stepped on his foot or whatever. There might be things about the video we didn't catch.
So don't do what he's doing to Kamala Harris. Got it. Let's listen to some more.
Well, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, don't go for it. It is what it is.
They're not even doing, y'all not even out here doing real research. And look at her record. If you do the research or whatever, stop believing everything you read and do real research, you can see what her record is. You can see what she have done. I think you can Google what have Kamala Harris done for the black community or things that black people benefit from.
Let's do it. I'm not one to avoid getting into the fray. I'm with it. Let's Google what Kamala Harris has done for the black community. Why not? Honestly, like I didn't even think about doing this. I was just gonna react to the video. But why not just let's Google what Kamala Harris has done for the black community in particular, all right? So let's deep dive into that. And I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Let's expand this. What has Kamala Harris done for the black? And let me blow this up for the people. So according to the New York Times, the first thing that pops up is for more than a year, this is one day ago, according to the New York Miss Harris has paid close attention to the signs of erosion among black voters, and specifically men. From the Democratic Party, she has invited black male business leaders and heads of grassroots organizations to her official residence to hear their concerns. Wow, I mean, this is impressive. I can't believe all of the things that I'm seeing that she's done for the black community. Let's see if we can scroll a little bit. I don't see anything in particular. I see a lot of these recent things. Vice President Kamala Harris speaks about Florida's new 6-week abortion ban. Barely a week, Kamala emerged, top Democrat. He said, I'm following his lead and Googling. She's a symbol of representation. Interesting. Okay, I'm sorry. I wasn't able to find anything in particular. I'm sorry, Ricky Smiley. He said, I think you can Google her and find out what she's done for the black community. Let me make sure that I heard that correctly.
From a lot. We done for the black community. See what she have done. I think you can Google what have Kamala Harris done for the black community, or things that black people benefit from. A lot. We need to stand with her.
Yes.
We need to stand with her. She's great.
Absolutely.
She will make a great president. And what a blessing to be living in a time where
don't.
I'm gonna be honest. I've already done my research before I started speaking of anything about this lady. I already did my research, and a lot of black people have, and they have made their decision. And it's gonna be black people that come in and say people that think like me are so quote unquote Uncle Toms, and that phrase is used out of term so much that it don't even faze me, because you don't even know what an Uncle Tom is. Go do your research. Uncle Tom was a book. And get that book and go see what Uncle Tom was and what he did. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. People, it's time for us to open up our minds and look elsewhere for a change. Stop being scared because of the color of somebody's skin. Because this man white. Come on, man. This man recently had a sit down with black business owners addressing what can be done to help black business owners. Those are the things that matter to me. Because that in turn brings up the black community, because then if black businesses can succeed, then they can create jobs for other black people. Because that's what the whole thing is. We trying to build our own economy so we don't have to ask the white man for a thing. It ain't nothing wrong with not asking the white man for nothing. But if you're gonna be sitting on the throne of this country, the country in which my business runs in, then I got some demands.
R. Kelly wants the U.S. Supreme Court to hear his appeal, basically, that says my conviction in Illinois should be overturned. And the reason is they charged me under a law that didn't exist when I committed the crime, as they say.
Did this come up during the trial?
Yes, we raised this issue pre-trial.
Hey everyone, big news today. R. Kelly might finally be getting out.
That's right, the feds have dropped his bail and he's being released. If you've been following the saga, you know it's been a roller coaster with R. Kelly's legal battles and imprisonment. We're diving into what just went down, why the feds decided to release him, and what might happen next. Stick around as we break it all down. Some talked about it before, like about a year ago, that R. Kelly would be getting out of prison. You didn't even need deep investigation to figure that out. We just saw the charges were way over the top and the prosecution was pushing too hard with stuff that didn't add up. So here's the deal. R. Kelly is now asking the Supreme Court to toss out his convictions for child P and getting minors to have sex. He's arguing that these charges are too old and should be barred by the statute of limitations. When R. Kelly was hit with these charges in 2020 for stuff from the 90s, he argued the statute of limitations had expired. The prosecutors, however, pointed to a 2003 law called the PROTECT Act that supposedly extends the time limits indefinitely for child sex crimes. R. Kelly's lawyer, Jennifer Bonjon, argues that because the PROTECT Act didn't exist back then, it shouldn't apply to his case. The PROTECT Act only affects crimes committed after it went into effect in 2003, and Congress didn't make it retroactive. R. Kelly was convicted of 6 out of 13 counts in 2020, 3 for child pornography and 3 for inducing minors. He got a 20-year sentence and was ordered to pay a bunch of money to the alleged victims. The court will decide if they'll take up his case in the next few months. R. Kelly's been in and out of the legal spotlight for decades now, and it all really blew up with his 2020 conviction. This wasn't just about one case. The guy's been hit with charges from all over. Illinois, New York, Minnesota, you name it. And it's not like these accusations came out of nowhere. People have been talking about R. Kelly and some pretty serious stuff since the 90s. Then came the bombshell, Surviving R. Kelly. This 2019 docu-series didn't just spill the tea. It poured it all over social media, leading to more public outrage and a whole new wave of legal action. It was the spark that reignited the fire under R. Kelly's seat. Now let's not forget, before all this legal drama, R. Kelly was huge in the music world. He's got hits that people still listen to today, if they can separate the art from the artist, that is. But after everything went down, his career took a nosedive. Streaming platforms dropped him, his label cut ties, and other artists who once worked with him, yeah, they're not picking up his calls anymore. People are seriously divided over R. Kelly. On one side, you've got folks who think he's 100% guilty and deserves every bit of his sentence. On the other, there's a group that believes he's being unfairly targeted. Maybe because he's a celebrity, maybe because of racial bias, or maybe both. It's a heated debate that touches on some deep issues, like how the justice system treats famous people, and the systemic racism that black men often face. And even with all these accusations, R. Kelly still has die-hard fans. They've been out there protesting for his release, while others are just as vocal about wanting justice for his alleged victims. R. Kelly's legal team isn't backing down without a fight. They've been making a big deal about the statute of limitations, saying some of these charges should have been dropped a long time ago. They're also accusing the prosecutors of being way too aggressive, throwing charges at him that don't even fit or are based on laws that weren't in place when the alleged crimes happened.
Shit, I hope it's true, because music has went to shit since he went to jail. I ain't gonna even lie. Damn, bro, we need you back.
They're regulating people out of business right now, and I'm hearing it from everybody. It's a big problem. And the biggest problem is the inflation still. How is inflation affecting your business?
Oh, God. It's killing us. It's killing us. It's hard to go back to your customer and increase on them because you're not going to win the job. So you have to eat it and move on. So it's killing your bottom line. The profits, the margins have dropped from when you were in office, 25, 30%. Now we're down to 12, 15. So that's where we are because we have to eat that part of the gas costs.
And does the customer pay for the inflation, or do you pay for it?
We pay for it.
Yeah. Sort of both, probably, but you pay for it. Yeah.
We can't increase.
We'll get it back. We'll get it back. We'll be back where we were, but better.
No, that's
Thank
right.
you. Bruce, go ahead.
Okay, so and I'm glad you.
Let me stop there for a minute. I don't see Kamala sitting down doing this. Come on now, this man, I don't know if he's doing this for good campaign or what, but these are the things that are needed to be done. Do you hear what I'm saying? These are the things that are needed to be done. You sit down specifically with black business owners to see what the problem is and how we can fix it. Now, I'm pretty sure you can go and watch this on C-SPAN in its entirety, right? But This is just a clip. But these are the things that are needed to be done, because how do you know as a president or any kind of political leader what people need if you're not there talking to them? How?
And does the customer pay for the inflation, or do you pay for it? Huh?
We pay for it.
Yeah, sort of both probably, but you pay for it. Yeah.
We can't increase.
We'll get it back. We'll get it back. We'll be back where we were, but better.
No, that's
Thank
right.
you. Bruce, go ahead.
Okay, so and I'm glad you addressed the workman's comp insurance. That was something we talked
deal.
about. It's big. So I'm going to pivot over to, I know you talk about housing, you know, you real estate guys, some real estate folks in here, in terms of what the contrast during the Trump administration. We had 2.5, 2.8 interest rates at 30-year, 15-year rates, et cetera. I'm going to pivot over to my business colleague Kamala Jones here, who's been in the industry for a long time. I'm sorry, I won't take too long because I don't, you don't look like it, but it's been a while. And so what did, during the Trump administration, I know you've sold millions and millions of dollars worth of homes, kudos, in terms of the culture and climate of, let's just say, black customers that are buying homes versus what you're seeing now, with some of that being 8+% and getting harder to qualify. What contrast from then from what you see now as in the real estate business?
Well, you used to be able to, in the black community, the housing was more affordable.
Right.
Let's just say in the Georgia market,
Right.
they could, purchase something for $250,000. Now something I would say nice for a decent family afford is more around $400,000.
And the crazy thing about that is that $400,000 still look like that $200,000 home, which could be a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home, which is small. Maybe it's like 2,800 square feet.
Donald Trump or Kamala Harris?
Donald Trump will be the 47th president of the United States based upon the beast that had a head wound did marvel over the world.
Okay. So you would vote for Donald Trump?
I don't vote for either. I vote for God. But Donald Trump will surely have it based upon him getting shot in the ear, sir.
Why do you think that solidifies him as the next president?
Divine intervention, sir.
So you think God had his back?
Certainly, sir.
What about Kamala? What are your thoughts on her?
Kamala Harris, she is quite not the one she portrays to be. Certainly she puts on a good front, but wishes she had the words of Obama, and surely does not.
Okay, so what do you think the front is of her? Like, what is her front?
Deception is her front. To be deceitful to the American people.
Okay. And how does she do that? In which ways?
Promoting policies in which are not 100% going green, as one may say. If that's the case, and if she supports the green initiative, why is it that it is illegal in certain cities and states for us to have a garden? Isn't a garden something we should take into consideration when we are promoting a green initiative and not making it illegal?
So do you think she's just trying to gain power and she doesn't actually care about the country?
Most certainly she is.
And why do you think so many people are falling for her?
Deception is hard to spot. Discernment is what we need.
You definitely need discernment. And I'm not assuming that this man is homeless, but let's just say if he is, right? What if homeless people are angels or something, or type of guardian angels sit down here to survey and survey the people of Earth and kind of protect them? Because the way he was answering them questions, he was like almost certain that she is deceitful, or you're saying like, I believe 100% that Donald Trump will be the 47th president. And then the guy asked him, how do you know that? He said, divine intervention. I mean, sound like he got some direct connection to somebody that told him that, that's what's going to happen. This is the way that we're going to swing it.
Donald Trump wins, they will move to disqualify him through Congress, invoke civil war conditions, and tell the Trump hordes that Donald Trump is disqualified and not allowed to be president.
So it's going to be up to us on January 6, 2025 to tell the rampaging Trump mobs that he's disqualified. And then we need bodyguards for everybody and civil war conditions, all because the 9 justices, not all of them, but these justices who have not many cases to look at every year, not that much work to do, a huge staff, great protection, simply do not want to do their job and interpret what the great 14th Amendment means. And I'm glad that Sherilyn's creating her new center so we can bring that back to life, even as we're continuing to amend the Constitution, as Professor Hassan has invited us to do.
What a wild thing to say to a group of people so casually, that we will need bodyguards for everyone's Civil War conditions. What he is saying, that if Donald Trump wins on January 6th, they must stop him from taking office.
Not gonna lie to y'all, it's the trippiest thing I've seen all year.
Donald Trump said they're coming for your black jobs. This is what he was referring to. 4 years ago, when Joe Biden was elected president and Kamala Harris was elected vice president, she was put in charge of handling the border crisis. For those of y'all who do not know what is going on, there are illegal immigrants that are pouring into the country by the border. And also, the United States government is assisting in bringing the illegal immigrants into the country by flying them in. Now, once they are in the country, the United States is giving them money, food, medical, and housing. So let's think about this. I come into the country illegally, right? With the assistance of the United States government. I get money, I get food stamps, I get health and medical, and I have housing. What's the last piece of the puzzle that I need to live the American dream? A 9 to 5. And as an illegal immigrant, what's the easiest job that I can get that's always hiring? An essential job. And who works mostly essential jobs? Black Americans. Now, what's one of the main problems with the job market right now? We don't feel we're getting paid enough money, right? But to the illegal immigrants who have been getting assistance from the government, $15 an hour is great. Now think about this. You've been working at that job for 7 years, right? You just not getting $20, $21, $22 an hour, whatever. They're going to bring somebody in who's not even from this country, who came in illegally, and they're going to do the same job you do for less, which is then going to X you out, because it's like, why are we paying you all this money when we can hire 5 illegal immigrants to do the same job and we pay them less? That's what Donald Trump means by black jobs. The more illegal immigrants that come into this country, the more at risk your job is going to be as a black American, because most black Americans work essential jobs. That doesn't mean that all of us do. That means that there is a majority of us that do.
I don't see how that's hard to understand. But people like to take words, especially when they hear black. And it seems like when white people say it, the BL is extra hard in it. So they just offend the hell out of black people. Black jobs. There's a such thing as black jobs, right? Especially if we keep accepting those low-paying jobs. We can't go to low-paying jobs, low-grade jobs, and ask for more money. It just don't work like that. So yes, they gonna replace us with these people because they willing to work for pennies on the dollar. Y'all gotta make up your mind on which one you want to do and stop being offended by everything and do what you need to do to fix this stuff. And how you start is looking at your presidential candidates, doing your thorough research and figuring out who is really for you and who is not. And stop with this ideology that someone is for you because of the color of their skin. But it don't just start there. It start at your local elections, okay? Your congressmen, your city court clerks, and, you know, things of that nature. But we tend to get emotionally driven when you have to have emotional intelligence during these times. Emotions can't get driven. And it's been killing me to see all these black celebrities crying because the amount of black people that are saying that they're not voting for Kamala. And now Kamala's been put on Front Street for paying these creators to try and, you know, sway the black vote. But then you got to think about it, you playing these creators, and a lot of these creators, they stream to kids. So what are they gonna do? They ain't even old enough to vote. So I'm just saying, y'all, we have to change our conditions ourselves. There's nobody else responsible for this. You don't have to be a Republican and you don't have to be a Democrat. You can come right over here to where I'm at and just be plain old independent. And then it's going to force you to listen to people's policies more so than identify with them. But you know, who am I? I'm just a regular old person behind a camera giving my opinion, which I have the right to do so. And I'm not going to continue to sit here and rant, but I hope y'all could see something in these little small clips that'll make you rethink and think a little harder. And if your vote still goes towards the other side or Trump's side, at least you know you've done enough research to confirm your decision. But hey, that's all I got to say. And it's been your boy Bo. And I'm signing out, telling you to stay up, stay down. Most importantly though, stay real.